Welcome, friends, to another exciting episode of A VGM Journey. And I'm your host, The Messenger. The track that we're playing in today's show is Opening from the game Mario Party, and it was originally composed by Yasunori Mitsuda and arranged by Qumu. About a year ago, I did an episode on remixes and covers, and I had a real fun time picking out tracks. And it was a topic that I wanted to revisit again, but this time with remixes and covers that you guys were really into. And you guys really brought some good stuff. And I mean so much good stuff that I could probably fill several episodes of really good remixes and covers. And I say, let's kick things off with a request from Hammock, the host of KVGM The Last Wave. And he wanted me to play this real funky remix of KK Cruisin from the game Animal Crossing. It was originally composed by Kazumi Totaka, and this remix was done by Funk Fiction and T. Lopes. That track that you just heard, that was KK Cruisin from the game Animal Crossing. It was originally composed by Kazumi Totaka, and this remix was done by Funk Fiction and Lopes, and this was requested by Hammock. So thank you, Hammock, for that request. The original KK Cruisin was such a good song, and I always thought it was pretty chill and a really good remixable type of song. So I've heard some pretty amazing mashups of this. I've heard of other kinds of remixes of it, and it's really good. And this is just really awesome. And I think that Lopes is pretty amazing as well. So I was first exposed to him with his soundtrack for Sonic Mania. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing all kinds of different covers and remixes that he's done. And a lot of it is really amazing stuff. And I was very surprised that he did a remix of a track from Animal Crossing. So I'm really glad that you brought this to the show, Hammock. And I just want to say, once again, thank you. I'm actually really excited with this next track. And this is coming from Utopia Nemo. And he wanted me to play Quest in the Water from Mega Man Battle Network 5. It was originally composed by Akari Kaida, and this was remixed by friend of the show, Voltz Supreme. That track that you just heard, that was Quest in the Water from the game Mega Man Battle Network 5. It was originally composed by Akari Kaida, and this was remixed by Voltz Supreme. Oh, and this was also a Utopia Nemo request. So thank you, Utopia Nemo, for that request. And I'm also going to say thank you, Voltz Supreme, for this remix. This was really good. And I went back and listened to the original song, and I thought it was pretty good, but I thought you absolutely knocked it out of the park with this remix. It's got that synth style that I know that you're pretty famous for, so I wasn't too surprised about that. And you definitely get that underwater vibe with it, because it's pretty chill, but it also has a nice energy to it as well. I'm looking at my show notes, and I kind of realized that I failed to mention that this is coming from the album Synth VGM Remixes Volume 2, and it's Underwater and Slightly Moist Themes Part 1. And I know that I definitely want to play some more Voltz Supreme synthy goodness on some future remixes and cover type of episodes. So I just want to say thank you to Utopia Nemo for that request, and thank you to Voltz Supreme for being Voltz Supreme. This next track is coming from Rage Cage, which I believe this is the first thing that you've requested for the show. And he wanted me to play this remix from Solstice called Pagesus Boots. And this track was originally composed by Tim Follin, and this arrangement was done by Shnabubula. track that you just heard, that was Pagesus Boots from the game Solstice. It was originally composed by Tim Follin, and the arrangement was done by Shnabubula, and this was requested by Rage Cage, who is the host of VG Emporium. So thank you, Rage Cage, for that request. When I saw Rage Cage requesting this track, I was actually expecting the main title theme, which I'm sure that everyone's heard of, but this is actually for the main background music for the game. And I think this arrangement did a pretty amazing job of capturing the feel of the original. And I always thought the track itself had a bit of a weird and uncomfortable feeling to it. Not scary, but just a bit of an oddness to it. And the instrumentation of this arrangement, I was very surprised with. Because I think for a lot of remixes and arrangements, I think they try to bring a lot more energy to tracks for the most part. And they didn't really go for that for this. And to be honest, I actually highly appreciate that. I do wonder if there's any really good remixes of stuff from its sequel Equinox out there. I'm sure, but I do wonder. But I don't have to wonder about this because I could say, hey, Rage Cage, thank you for that request. It was really good stuff. We're going to move on from one remix of a NES game to another remix of a different NES game. And we got this remix from Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. The track is Bloody Tears. It was originally composed by Kinichi Matsubara, Satoe Terashima, and Kouji Murata. And this arrangement was done by Tetsuya Fuzuki, and this was a request by Martyrus, the host of ReVGM. That track that you just heard, that was Bloody Tears from the game Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. It was originally composed by Kinichi Matsubara, Satoe Terashima, and Kouji Murata, and this arrangement was done by Tetsuya Fuzuki, and this was requested by Martyrus. So thank you, Martyrus, for that request. And I think that's gonna just about do it for the show this week. If you like what you've been listening to, have your friends check out the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever podcatching service that you could think of. I'm more than likely going to be on there. You can email the show at vgmjourney@yahoo.com, and you could also check us out on Twitter at vgmjourney. We're going to play things out with one more track, and this is coming from Bedroth, the host of Very Good Music, a VGM podcast. And he wanted me to play this 8-bit version of Life Will Change from the game Persona 5. And this was originally composed by Shoji Meguro, and this arrangement was done by Branflakes. Have a good week, everyone.